The 10-minute talent rant is live. I'm James Hornick, joined by Jeff Smith, and we are on the clock. The 10-minute talent rant is our ongoing series to break down things that are broken in the talent acquisition hiring space, maybe even pitch a solution or two. Before we dig in, all of our content can be found on talentinsights.hirewell.com. Jeff, you ready?
Yeah, this one's for the kids.
This one's for the literal kids.
As the kids say.
Yeah, this episode 112, really getting up there. The crumbling entry-level job market. And I have to, I'll do a preview for this before we get into this. I may or may not be talking about this on Chicago, Good Morning Chicago, Fox 32, Thursday morning this week. So I say maybe because it was supposed to be last week and they always push these things. But apparently I'm an expert in the space now, locally recognized.
Well, you're now a frequent guest.
Yeah.
I feel like we can say that. You're you're like an SNL host. You're now counting your...
I think this is a 4-time. I don't remember. It all started during the pandemic. Anyways, long story. So we do want to talk about what's happening in the entry-level job market. It's a mess. And I've got some stats here because I think you could talk about any part of the job market. Anecdotally, anyone thinks everything's terrible all the time because of whatever they're kind of seated in. But New York Federal Reserve found that CS grads, so computer science grads, dealing with a whopping 6.1% unemployment rate. So people actually majoring in computer engineering are just higher level because it's 4.4 everywhere else. Yeah.
Remember, CS was it kind of started after you and I's, but the millennial generation for sure. It was got to go to school and get a CS degree.
Everyone should learn to code. It was this big march, everyone needs to learn how to do it. It's something that there's unlimited supply. And the thing that's hysterical is the article we found this from Futurism, it was mentioning journalism majors, which everyone thinks is on the complete decline, also 4.4%. So unemployment rate among new college grads. So there are more journalism majors by percentage getting jobs than computer science majors. Now, granted, that's because everyone stopped going. There's less people doing journalism now, and there's more people doing computer science. But you kind of see the point. It's completely out of whack.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the national average of 4.2, and also the economy has added, jobs for 52 months in a row. There's a lot of doomsday out there, but those are facts.
Yeah.
The unemployment rate for the 20 to 24-year-olds is double the national average at roughly 8.2%. So, the data doesn't lie here.
Yeah, and if you break that down further, if you look at just males, so just men kind of in that demographic, it's 9.6%. So it's almost 10% unemployment among males who graduate from school right now. So, and that's, I think, last data thing we're going to dump on you here, that's up from 6.7% a year ago. So up 2% in a year is a lot. So something's happening. We're going to talk about it. We just want to drop the stats on you so we weren't just kind of hair on fire, but there is something to it.
Yeah, we're not doing the whole, this is not a woe is the plight of man, thing. It's just a stat. So we're going to kind of break this down into tranches, but first point is, what does it look like right now for entry-level talent? Number one, there's just fewer true entry-level roles. One, the definition of entry level has changed. There's a 2024 NACE study that found nearly 65% of employers now prioritize folks with, prior experience and proven competencies, even in the roles that used to be starter jobs. So we see this in recruiting all the time. This person has had to have done X before they're even qualified. And they're paying, $70K, which is an entry-level salary.
And the meme that's out there all the time about entry-level jobs require 2 years experience or 4 years, this is what this is. I always kind of crapped on those takes because honestly, I didn't personally see it because I'm not an entry-level grad looking for a job. The one clients we do have looking for entry-level, we're looking for entry-level people, but it's a wider world out there and it's real. So
there's this it's such a good point. There's this shrinking new grad pipeline. There's major employers that used to run these, and there still are, but they're shrinking. These large college recruiting programs. That has scaled down immensely, up to and including pausing. And that leaves just more grads fighting for fewer jobs.
Yeah.
And finally, there's this pandemic gap ripple effect. Many students kind of either delayed or had longer colleges experiences because of 2020. And that led to higher enrollment in 2021. And now in 2025, we're seeing that larger than usual graduating class come to the market for the first time. and it is like this pressure cooker of competition.
So higher supply, lower demand. That's part of the reason. Second thing, we can't not talk about AI. It's going to be a forever topic. I mean, we just talked about the pandemic. We're going back to the pandemic. Now we're shooting ahead to AI. Here's the thing. There is clearly an AI first mindset with companies. Even if you think AI is overhyped and it's bogus and a lot of this is going away and it's nothing new, like there's a lot of legitimate downer takes to AI, some of which I agree with. It doesn't change the fact that companies who are trying to be run fiscally responsibly right now because of everything else that's happening in the marketplace are asking themselves like, well, let's not hire anybody till we see what AI can do. It's a shifting perception, and it's something that every company is looking at, and the hyper reality really doesn't matter. So the thing you then have to take is, okay, if a company is going to look at not hiring as much, displacing some things to AI, what tasks are those? What functions are those? It's always going to be at the lowest level. The most basic, repeatable tasks, the kind of work that like junior level workers would do to kind of cut their teeth on things. We're seeing this, and we're straight up where as soon as ChatGPT came out, we started seeing this like entry-level marketing roles, content creation, reporting, basic SEO. That stuff got decimated, honestly, right away. We used to do a ton of work in that area. We still do, but like we used to do more volume work, and that's just dead. Similar things are happening in operations and recruiting and customer service and whatnot, kind of really everywhere. But I think that it's the entry level that's taking the brunt of AI being integrated.
Yeah, and it's going to kind of dovetail into what we're going to talk about here, but there's just less reps to like have human interaction, which is kind of at the crux of all of this. And all of that usually used to start at gathering documents to file and like having to go to 3 separate departments. All of that stuff actually mattered, weirdly.
Yeah.
Third piece is, so what can you do? You're a recent grad. What can you do? What should you do to stick out? Number 1, be the go-getter. The most boomer take ever. Go take what's yours. People remember folks who get themselves in front of, important people. Hiring managers consistently value young, not just young, they value professionals who show drive, initiative, hunger, grit, like whatever that means to you. Like everybody kind of knows how. And I want to say
this has been universally true since I've been in the workforce. Like not just now, but going back 20, 25 years. Every hiring manager wants those exact same qualities.
Every single intake, without fail, that is a requirement.
Yeah.
Show human connection skills, especially in roles like sales. Companies want personable, confident, proactive communication, folks who can go out and sell their product. I don't care if it's candy bars or a software solution. Right? If you're willing to talk, follow up, be engaged, you're going to stand out.
Yeah.
And rebuild. Go to the gym, proverbially. Build some muscle memory. Real world success requires personal one-on-one interaction. And if you don't have those reps, you're going to fall behind. So previous generations, you and I, like you said, we did it by default.
Yeah, the concern I have, and this is the real boomer take. The concern I have, because this isn't even just entry-level people, this is millennial generation. I worry that our society has become, I call it swiping society, dating apps, you swipe left, everything you can buy on e-commerce. Like we've created this world where no one has to have any human interaction anymore. And I think it's at a detriment to people when they have to do a job search, when they have to actually interact with people in a real world environment. But my point is that I hope people can recognize I've become too reliant on my phone to make my life too easy, but I need to get back to actually learning how to talk to people, because that is what's going to help you both in your career and in your job search. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, perfect. And then just highlight real world experience to the hiring entities, internships, capstone projects, freelance gigs. Like talk about cutting lawns. Like that stuff matters. Anything outside of the classroom shows that you, A, are gritty, and B, have the ability to apply the skills to a real business situation.
All right, let me come back to AI for a second, because I think this plays into this too. My take on why AI might be a little bit bullshit isn't because the technology is bullshit. It's because I legitimately don't believe that most companies are equipped to actually use AI to integrate into their environment in an effective way. It requires people who have not be an engineer, but have a problem-solving, curious engineering mindset where you just want to find out how this stuff works and you want to be able to see what kind of problems you can solve. I do not believe there are enough people like that in most organizations, period, to make that actually work, which is why I think like relying on the next tool to come out to solve your problem isn't going to work. Long story short, what I've seen with my own eyes, because we talk about this internally, so I'm going to give him a shout out. Our director of marketing, Brian, he's not entry level. He's been doing this for a while. He and I were talking about some new tools and stuff that came out, and he's very smart. He has, I would say, an engineering mindset and a curious mindset, but he's not a developer. He doesn't have any developing skills. He was able to create a website that would integrate with our CRM system for a better candidate within like 10 minutes using some AI tools that are out there. Now, I don't know if they're going to work. I don't know if it's like perfect. Like obviously you're going to need some developers to tie it in, but the amount of things that you can do now with AI to make yourself more productive or make organization is drastically different. But again, I don't think there's enough people out there that actually have the right mindset for it. But if you are one of those entry-level people that can demonstrate, like I know how to use AI to get 3 times as much work done as the next person, whether that's in a sales capacity, whether that's actually helping you integrate your systems, you are so valuable, because I guarantee the companies you're working for are trying to work on these things and they don't know how to do it either. So, and all that takes is a little bit of curiosity and seeing what's out there, doing a little research and playing around with it. So.
Nice tie-in to a former episode there.
Yeah.
Using AI to your advantage and not relying on it. Okay, lastly, what shouldn't you do? Don't rely on just applying to jobs. Like, it's dead. Stop doing that. Don't not apply to jobs, but if you're only relying on that, you're never going to get a job.
There's another gear to job searching.
Yeah,
you're going to have to get into.
You could argue, like, the logic is there, too. Like, maybe the new PI, maybe the new personality assessment should just be logic games from the LSAT. You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Job postings get hundreds, thousands of resumes. You're not differentiating yourself. Like, just clicking apply doesn't work. Case closed. Hiring managers are impressed by direct outreach. Make a list, identify 10 to 30 companies that really kind of float your boat. Make some really direct, personalized messaging. Send something short, concise, impactful. Like, that stuff's going to get 10x return than just clicking that apply button. And finally, don't expect AI to be perfect, like you've said. It's one thing to write, y'all probably have written some bullshit paper on Napoleon and like European history, and that's fine. It's quite another thing to automate some complex business problem, like solely relying on like your computer overlord.
All right. Final takeaways. It's harder, but not hopeless. And I think that's really the kind of the key thing. The opportunity still exists, but you have to take it. You can't just apply to things. You have to be proactive, curious. You have to put yourself out there. You have to make direct phone calls. You have to DM people or email people directly. You have to show up to networking events, and you have to actually talk. On that note, interpersonal effectiveness and interpersonal communication, no matter what you're in, sales, tech, finance, ops, like your ability to connect and communicate and sell your ideas and express yourself is irreplaceable. That's the one thing that can't be put aside by AI. And it's one thing that I think is very much lacking.
Yeah, just learn to be social again.
Yeah.
Case closed.
We are short on clock. That's a wrap for this week. Thanks for tuning in to the 10-Minute Talent Rant, part of the Talent Insight series, which is always available for replay on talentinsights.hirewell.com, as well as YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon. Jeff, thanks again as always. Everyone out there, we will see you soon.